Phil Curry.
Thanks, Laura. Thanks, Treasurer. You just alluded to it then. In your speech, you sort of alluded to the decisions made by government 40 years ago, Hawke-Keating, which carried us successfully over the past 40 years, and you said you're going to need that sort of application to get through the next 40. What Hawke and Keating did required an element of political bravery. Can I just pick you up on one element of political bravery? As you just mentioned, electric cars. So that's going to wipe out fuel excise. That was worth 14 billion net to the budget last year, 13.7. Ever since Ken Henry did his tax review, there's been calls that we've got to replace that with a road user charge. Turnbull had a look at it and then chickened out when the Nationals arced up. And now the states are starting to make noise about going alone on it. Is it something that your government is even considering, or are you worried about it being seen as a tax on motorists and you're prepared to cop a hole in the budget and find the money elsewhere?
Thanks, Phil. I mean, first of all, our tax reform priorities have been in the areas that you're familiar with to this point: multinationals, PRRT, high balance superannuation, changes on cigarettes, compliance, those sorts of issues. That's our focus, and some of that is still unlegislated, and so a lot of our tax reform energy will be expended in the coming months making sure that we can get that through the Senate. But I think in the next few years, an increasing focus, certainly of our government and most likely governments that follow us, will be this public policy challenge, this revenue challenge, this challenge to the revenue base. And you're right that there's a big part of this is states related. There's a court case underway right now which goes to the core of this. It is part of the discussions that I have with my state and territory colleagues. And in the coming years, people will come at this challenge. Our focus for the time being is a couple of strategies that Catherine King and Chris Bowen are consulting on and working up when it comes to the broader environment and infrastructure for electric vehicles. And no doubt at some point, probably relatively soon, by which I mean in the next few years, our government or our successor will turn our mind to it.